All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And I'm here with Opera and a representative by the name of Tatsuki. We were debating about that earlier, and they just released Opera. Rather, a full release was just done this morning. So we wanted to talk to them and see what things Opera can bring to the table that other browsers may or may not. So Tatsuki's going to give us a bit of a demo, and we're going to talk to him about it. So here we go.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you very much, Josh. And let me just kind of go through some of the new features that we included in the latest version of Opera, and then I think it's worth going through some of the existing feature that is really popular amongst our user base. Yeah. The first time you launch the browser, you get to a speed dial, and then you flick to the left, you have a history, and you flick to the right, you go to Discover, which is a new feature. Entirely in Opera 14. So what it is that basically it's a curated a catalog of contents that we're fetching from the internet, because the internet is becoming really, really big, and it's kind of hard to find the contents that you might enjoy. So we've got these top stories in arts and business, entertainment, and science, whatnot. So you can kind of drill down into specific contents, and you get to this the preview mode, and then you click through, and then you're going to get to the destination site. So that's the new functionality, and what we're thinking about is that maybe that you have 10 minutes to kill, maybe going to a certain station or something like that on the bus, and then you can basically go here instead of you trying where do I go now, or you search through things. And the other feature that we included in the latest version is the download manager. So, of course, we have had the download manager, but it is improved. So you can easily sort of manage, the media files and, the movies and, music and whatnot. The other functionality we added is the off-road mode. So I guess, you might have tried Opera Mini. Which is basically all the rendering happens on the server side, and we always had an Opera Mobile and Opera Mini, and Opera Mobile it's a full browser, so all the rendering happens on the client side, so that the website gets downloaded on your phone. The benefit of the Opera Mini is that it goes through a compression server. So basically, instead of you downloading an entire website over the radio network, we basically do the compressions on the server side. So what you're downloading to your phone is typically about 20% of the original size of the web page, and so this will basically gives you snappier experience, but also it saves a lot of data, right? So if you're on the prepay and you're paying for the pay as you go for the data, or like you have like a tiered a data plan or something like that, or maybe you're on the roaming and you don't really want to pay a lot of roaming fees and things like that. So this gives you a great benefit for the user. Okay, we'll kind of a little bit off.
We're drifting off a little bit.
Okay, sorry about that. So basically this shows you can kind of toggle on and off. So basically what it is that we're combining the best of both worlds. So the benefit of the Opera Mini is now integrated into the Opera products. So you have a choice of not going through the server if you don't worry about the speed or the cost. But if you're on the certain situations where the signal strength is not great, you're not getting the content downloaded snappy enough, then you can basically turn it on. And you can see here basically the contents that you would have downloaded if you didn't have the overall mode is 11.4 megabyte, but what you have actually downloaded is 3.7 megabyte. So that gave you 68% of the data saving.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just go back to the other features.
One quick question: the Discover area. You said it was a curated list of websites that you can look at and whatnot. Does it take from any information that you put into the browser, like contextually, or is it really just sort of there a fixed list for you?
Yeah. So right now it's basically a fixed list. But if you start basically browsing more of a science or like technologies and things like that, it's going to try to learn a little bit, and so it's going to surface more of a technology kind of information to you, rather than maybe other lifestyle and things like that. You might not be really interested. So if you go to certain specific categories, then it's going to be always the same content. It's whatever that's popular, and then also the latest or the current gets surfaced on top. So yeah. So some of the new functionalities also on the speed dial. So we used to have a bookmark. No longer there's a separate bookmark. Speed dial and bookmark is combined into single functionality. So if you keep adding things, if you go to a website and if you want to add that to a bookmark, you can do so by just hitting this plus button, add to speed dial, and it's going to show up in a speed dial.
Okay. Well, okay. So how about this then? Sort of in a nutshell, what would you say to somebody who's looking for a new browser to use? What makes Opera better than the competition, like say Chrome or even built-in internet browsers on phones?
Right. So I think that the speed has been always the biggest focus for Opera has been ever since the company was founded. We want to make the speedy fast web experience whenever possible. So obviously the off-road functionalities and just the whole user interface that we really focused on giving the kind of the perception that people just getting the content as first as possible. And so that's the first bit. And then also we really focused around the user interface this time. So the Opera has been always about making web accessible from just about any devices. So we've been making web available on different kind of devices, not just the smartphones and PCs, but all kinds of connected devices. And because of that, we have had the architecture that is highly portable. So we can basically port Opera in matter of basically a few days into just any kind of devices, any kind of platforms. Basically, whatever the platforms that you're running, you get the same consistent Opera look and feel. But this time we actually adapted to Android native user interface layer. So we think that the latest user interface is just simply beautiful. We think that it just sort of gives you a feeling that it's really solid, and it's the devil's in details, right? All these little details that think that that gives your user that it's you're doing in the style. And also the last thing is the ease of use. We basically, the web is again just there's so much out there on the web, and finding things that you might want to read on. It's kind of getting harder and harder. Content discoverability. So we find this we implement a discover feature that makes it easy to find the content that will be probably you're likely to enjoy. So those are the three things that I think that sets us apart from anything else.
A nice comprehensive way of putting it together, All right, Tatsuki, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Again, I'm at Opera and here at PepCom Mobile Focus here at CTIA 2013. We'll be right back with more action.